Hello programmers, in this video I will showing you what updates I do in my programming setup in Linux. So as you know about my previous video, I show you my all Vim setup in WSL, which means Windows Subsystem for Linux. But as you can see, I have completely switched on to the Linux, which is Ubuntu Linux distribution. So I have to change my programming setup. As you can see here, it's all Ubuntu, so I change my Vim setup also. I use now Neovim, which is great tool for many plugins. And as you all know, we need development tools and auto completion, etc., etc. So that's why I need Neovim the most. So as you can see, whenever I type I have Neovim. So this is my Neovim, how it look like. And there's the full setup of Neovim in Lua, which is a great language to script the Neovim. So there is a lot of setup. So in this video I'm not going to show all of the configuration which I do in the Neovim setup. I just want to update you guys about my programming setup and how to install uh, the same Neovim config in your Linux distribution. So what you have to do is just you have to open the GitHub repository, link in the description of the video, which is the GitHub repository of my GitHub account. Here you have to go to Neovim configs, and you just have to uh, click here code and copy this GitHub repository link, paste it in, and you have to git clone, paste that, and you can simply create that. But while doing this, you have to ensure that you don't have any pre-existing Neovim folder in your configs. As you can see, if I go to .config and Neovim folder, so as you can see, here is my setup, and there is no Neovim inside my .config other than this single Neovim folder. And in this folder, all of the configuration of my Neovim are set up. Here you can see. So remember that command, which is git clone, which is used for cloning the git repository of my GitHub, and you just need to give the path, and the path is .config Neovim. And before pasting that command, I give this command in the description, but you have to ensure that you have to delete all the Neovim folder from your .config folder. Here you can see in my home we have the .config folder, and here you can see Neovim. So you have to delete this folder, and if you already use any Neovim setup, so you have to delete that Neovim, and then you have to go to .local folder, share, and you have to delete this Neovim folder also. And one more prerequisite you have to need in this, you have Node.js installed in your local machine, which is a version 14 or above. In my case we have 18.13.0 and npm of 8.19 or above. So that's all for my Neovim setup. Here you can see I can open any file. So let's move on to our project, which is in my career development and React stuff. And you can see if I open that project in the source and I open every file, here you can see I have every single file open in Neovim, and I can toggle with the tab key. I make shortcuts, so many shortcuts of Neovim, and which are very helpful to switching tabs and many more. And you can see if I press SF, I can see the file explorer or file browser, which is an extension of telescope plugin, which I have used. Just quit. And there are so many auto completion also, you can see here. And wait, just let's move on to my CP folder. CP CDC CP, no, just one more. And practice, here you can see there are a lot of files. Just remove it. And here I have some scripts which I use in my comparative programming setup. One of them is a generation file. If I use that script, it's a bash script. So if I use gen and name of the file, so it creates that name with the extension .cc, which is the C++ extension, and it fills that file with my code template, which I use so much in my comparative contests. And here you can see some code completion, just like void and all of my print function. So if I do cout, so it gives cout snippet, and I just quit. And you can save so many custom snippets, just like mine. I use debug, and this is my whole debug template to debug any code. And there are some compilation commands. Let's just print. Here you can see it shows so many diagnostics also. And you can compile by the 2 key leader 9, which can compile your program. And here it requires number of test cases, so I won, and the output is hello, as you can see here. And the debug template is just like debug. If I need to debug any element, variable, which is int n, which is equals to 0, and debug, and like that. And if I compile it, so one more thing in compiling with the debug statement, you have to compile with leader 0, which is the compile statement with the debug command. Now you can see that n is debug now, but if you press leader 9, the n does not debug at all. So same as for Python files, if I open Neovim hello.py and print and if I press leader 9, so it compiles. No matter what files you have, it compiles with the same key binding, leader 9 and leader 0. Leader 0 is a special key it works only for C++, but leader 9 all always work for any language which is compiled or interpreted, and you can customize it along with the setup of Neovim. So that's whole setup of my Neovim and updates about the Neovim setup. So if you have any question, you can message me on the LinkedIn or LinkedIn or any social media platform which I will give the link in my description. You can contact me and ask your query there. So that's it for the video. Hope you have a great programming experience with that Neovim setup, and I will see you next time.